everybody. I'm Riley Cantrell,
I'm Luke Casey.
and we are Chasin 41. Welcome back to episode 3. Last few weeks, we've touched on a lot of different topics, mainly kind of MDC, the Missouri Department of Conservation, and how we think they're doing, what we see, and then kind of the statistics. Last week, we talked about just kind of putting everything we're seeing into stats, right? Um, so we have some interesting topics this week that we recently found out that we have to talk about. There's no way we were going to read that and not talk about it. So let's talk about the National Wildlife Refuge and what they're trying to do with that right now.
Real quick, before we get started on that, I would like to say the last time we were doing the podcast, we only made it 2 episodes deep, so we're already doing better than the last time
yeah,
around. So 3 episodes deep is awesome. And
yeah, we're
you know,
stopping here though.
yeah, we're stopping here. This is it. After this, no more podcasts. It'll just be done.
Yeah,
Next time around in about 3 or 4 years, we'll do four, and
yeah, and then
it's
we'll do
it's
5, 3 or 4 years later, and
it's
we'll
like
just
it's like your favorite TV show. We're gonna hook you, and then all of a sudden, nothing for 2 years.
yep, yeah, yeah. But the next season is going to be
Great. Great.
great.
Great. We'll talk about everything we talked about in the first 2 videos again.
yeah.
All right.
All
So
right.
first off, they're doing this is just a proposal, and it's just I've seen it a lot lately. It's the expansion of hunting and national wildlife refuges. I don't, it's just a proposal, so not everything's out on it yet. I don't think, at least not that I see. Like what all the states are. That might be somewhere, and I'm just not finding it. But honestly, until it's kind of finished, I don't know whether it's going to help us or hurt us in the long run, or help and hurt other states in the long run. I guess it'll just kind of be one of those things we see as time goes on here.
Yeah. I think if it passes, I think it's got to go to the secretary's desk. If it passes, I think what we'll see is the first season is going to be insane. Like the amount of birds taken are going to skyrocket, right? But then I think as time goes on, if we keep the same regulations, then what we'll see is a decline eventually because birds are just going to keep moving on. They're not really going to have a safe place to land. They're not going to want to land. And as you know, Luke, like birds typically land in a similar spot every migration. So birds that, stay at 10 Mile are going to come back the next year if they weren't taken that year. So I like the idea as in it's going to give hunters a better opportunity to go out and hunt in a more safe environment. Like they're not going to have to go on the river and, take on those waters or anything like that. But I think it'll be good in that aspect, but bad in the aspect of I don't think birds are going to stay there for years. I think they're going to keep on moving, and we'll see a decline.
Yeah, I'm a fan of refuges just because it gives birds a safe place to be when everyone's acting dumb, But
Yeah.
uh, you know, I'm not 100% sure on what it is all encompassing. I'm sure it has to do with deer and turkey and everything else that we hunt.
Yeah.
But the four national fish hatcheries, like I said, I don't know what those are. I don't do a whole lot of fishing though, so I try every now and then, but it's not. I don't go fishing every weekend, so
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on what all it's encompassing. Like I said, I would love to. Uh, but I think it's going to be good on one hand, like you said. There's going to be more places to hunt, but on the other hand, you're taking away areas for birds to just hang out. Refuges are what keeps birds in your area,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
the around in the Duck Creek area. Duck Creek's refuge is huge. Their lake
Huge.
their lake is huge, and it keeps ducks in the area. Now, I'm not saying that those ducks don't just hang out there for weeks on end and you don't ever get to shoot them because they don't
Yeah.
have to go anywhere
But
to
that's just how it goes. Like that's just the game.
yeah.
Like if birds are going to stay, they're going to stay. But I'd much rather that bird stay in the refuge and never move and bring other birds in than that bird not feeling safe and not having anywhere to go and just take other birds with them down to Arkansas.
Yeah,
Again, I want us to have a better season than Arkansas. Nothing against Arkansas, but you got to rep your home state and you want it to be as successful as possible.
yeah. So I don't know. I think this is going to be one of those at first probably a 50-50 situation. Like I think it's going to help in some aspects and hurt in some aspects. Like it's probably going to hurt the wildlife management in those areas a little bit and the habitat protection. Um, and then, but if you have more areas to hunt, your stuff like your fishing, hunting and fishing tags, you're going to sell more of those because you've got more places to go.
Yep.
Uh, but like we were talking about last time, that's also going to bring in, no matter what state you're in, going to bring in more out of state hunters because I'm not saying this for a fact, but double the places to hunt than there was the year before.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many places you're going to get to hunt more or fish more than you were before. I was just kind of saying, but that's your point. It's just going to help and hurt, but that's everything that we do in life is you're going to help some and hurt some. So I guess we'll just kind of figure it out as time goes on here.
Yeah. There's definitely pros and cons to everything, which is why it's hard to like. I know we talk about MDC a lot and kind of the bad things we see from MDC. MDC is better than a lot of the state's conservation departments. I will
Well,
say that
100%.
MDC
100%.
does a lot of things very, very well, but it's not perfect. And so we're going to try and make it as perfect as it can be. And so we're going to talk about things we see that we don't necessarily like or think is true. Um, so in this aspect, we're talking about giving hunters more opportunities. What we're going to talk about next is giving hunters no opportunities. Thankfully, not in the Missouri area, because we would never allow this to happen. But let's talk about the Oregon IP28, which is the act that they will be voting on in November, which
Apparently,
is,
this is a little older thing though.
yeah,
This has been going on apparently since February, but we are really just learning about it today because we got the talking about what we're going to talk about, and here we are talking about this. So
yeah.
I'll let you go ahead, but I was just saying this has been around, apparently going on since February. So we'll kind of see where it goes, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's been going on since February. There's a petition out to basically stop the act and not let it get voted on. That's going to be expired by the time this podcast comes out, unfortunately. But the Oregon IP28, which will be voted on in November, would criminalize hunting, fishing, trapping, and farming. So we're talking about you won't be able to duck hunt, you can't deer hunt, turkey hunt, no hunting at all,
No
can't
fishing at
fish
all.
at all, can't even trap. And the most bizarre thing to me is farming. You can't breed animals. So you can't have a cow farm. You can't have
Hens,
horses and hens,
chickens,
literally anything.
and just anything that you are going to which is also crazy because a lot of people get their food from a lot of these animals just on a daily basis. Like we have chickens in our backyard that we get eggs from on a daily basis. Just so if that it doesn't specifically say that, but if I'm taking it the way we're reading it, that that's what that means too, and that's crazy because that's everyday life for
Yeah,
millions of people.
millions of people. And so Oregon's animal abuse statutes, the only thing that separates an animal abuse statute and hunting is the hunting regulations, right? Like licensing and permits and the
Yeah.
legalization of it. So this is basically going to make everything animal abuse. If you have a cow, if you have multiple cows and they breed, that's animal abuse. Obviously, if you shoot a deer and they won't even have a season, that's animal abuse. Um, and a criminal act. So you will go to jail for this. Probably not prison, I would assume. I don't know the logistics on it, but um, I
That'd be
mean,
crazy if you got felonies for this. Like if
if
you got,
yes,
I mean, just breeding an animal is crazy. I think it says intentionally injuring, killing, breeding animals with only limited exceptions for self-defense and veterinary care. So what I'm reading out of that is you're going to be in trouble for literally anything you do with an animal.
Yeah.
If your dog, it just seems like if your dog has puppies with another dog, is that the same thing? You might be breeding an animal there.
Yeah,
What?
like if your dog gets out, like, and your dog just runs away and then gets another dog pregnant, then comes back. What
Yeah,
is
what's that? What's that going to entail? I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess that's something else we'll kind of figure out. And just for the impact on this and the hunter and fisher situation, Oregon has 330,000 licensed hunters and 500,000 licensed anglers, and plus 37,000 farms and ranches employing over 80,000 people who would all face criminal liability with this passing. I think that's
Yep.
just crazy.
I think it is crazy too. And you think of, like, these are fundamental human rights. Like, this is how people feed their families. Whether
100%.
you're on a farm or whether you're just a hunter, these are how people feed their families for the whole year. And so when you take that away from them, and also the money that they get from this, I want to say, you said it earlier, it was like in the billions for sure.
So the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife estimates hunting and fishing generate over 1.9 billion annually.
Yeah. So that money is no longer going to be there,
Just gone.
which it's just gone, which means your taxes are going to raise. Oregon doesn't have sales tax, so I'm assuming income tax and property tax are going to skyrocket. And I think Oregon's going to have a really big problem in the next 5 to 10 years on all animals just being overpopulated. Turkey, deer. I mean, I think, which I'm sure Missouri has more deer than Oregon has, but I think about like
No, I don't
all
think
the
so.
deer
I think Oregon is.
really.
I think it's a more because I think Oregon's a lot of wooded area, right?
Yeah.
So I would assume that it might have more than us. I don't know that. You might be
Well,
right, but
either way, like think about all the deer we see on the side of the road that get hit by cars,
mhm.
and that's with. I mean, we're probably top five in deer taken every year. Like we're a very heavy
Oh yeah,
deer hunter population, deer and
100.
duck hunters. And so I think about all the deer we see on the side of the road already. Imagine we just took hunting away from Missouri.
Hunting is a huge population control.
Yes.
Not just people use it to feed themselves and their family year round, 100%. But it's a huge population control thing too. You take that away, you're gonna overpopulate pretty much everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna. I'm not saying that before us everything wasn't good in general, but everything that we hunt, a lot of people got rid of wolves because they were killing things. Are they gonna?
Yeah.
I don't know if Oregon has wolves or not. I know like Montana, reintroduced wolves and stuff like that. But I don't know if Oregon has those. The if so, your wolf population is going to jump too because of all the every. I mean, you're just going to send it in a spiral that you're going to wind up hurting in the long run.
Yes.
So they're going to destroy ecosystems with this.
Yep. Yep. I agree. And I just thought about something and completely forgot what I was going to say. But um, oh yeah, what I was thinking about was what did Missouri harp on the most this deer season?
You talking about CWD?
Yes, CWD. And the explanation for that is when deer get overpopulated and are in more like bigger groups, then CWD spreads rapidly. And so what's Oregon going to do when they have CWD running around everywhere?
Yeah, I don't know how much I buy into the CWD thing. Like you see deers get sick, but I don't know if I buy into it as much as Missouri pushes it. But for
Yeah,
sure, but diseases like that in general are
yeah,
gonna skyrocket because you're gonna have double the population, and you can't even put the animals down
yeah,
because of stuff like this. Like you're not if you see a deer with CWD, you can't even put him down
yeah.
because you're gonna be a criminal because of it.
Yeah, so now deer are just suffering and you have to let them suffer if you're going to go to jail over it. You know what I mean?
Unless that's under the veterinary care thing, but you're probably gonna have to be a vet to do all that.
Well,
And
you're
you
gonna
think,
need to call a lawyer beforehand.
yeah, and you think the state has enough vets to handle all that? You're going
No.
to lose vets by not letting them have farms
Yeah.
because that's a lot of vets are, deal with horses and cows and all that other stuff. That's how they make their, big money.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think about farmers too. Like if they have to get rid of coyotes that are destroying their crops, are they just not allowed to do that anymore? Because
Yep.
then it's going to affect the crop population.
Yep.
I don't know. That's insane.
Really, really,
If you're,
coyotes, birds, like we have invasive bird species here. I don't know
Mhm.
if Oregon has any, but we have invasive bird species here that you can get rid of because they destroy crops and things like that.
Yep.
And you're not going to be able to do none of that.
That's
So
so crazy.
I don't think it will pass in Oregon because of the people. Like, this is somebody in government trying to make this happen right now. Once it
Yeah.
goes to ballots, do I think it'll pass? No, but if it does, think about just if it does, like you're going to destroy a whole ecosystem, and that pushes out in the states around Oregon too. Like once
Yeah.
Oregon's overpopulated, where do you think that population's going to go?
Yeah.
Another state. Now that might be great for another state's hunting. like
Yeah.
if you live on the border of Oregon and I'm not looking at a map right now, so I don't know what
Washington.
states are washed. Yeah, any of those states around it, your hunting might be awesome. So you might want this
Yeah.
to happen if you live on the border of Oregon, but
Yeah.
if not, that's crazy.
But at the
But you're
same time, this opens the door for so many other states to be like, yeah, I want to do that. And then now we already have an example of it passing. So then they put it into legislation.
yeah. I
I don't
I just
know.
think there's a
It's,
lot of states that, and I feel this way about Oregon. I think there's just a lot of states where you're hunting, your group of hunting and fishing are, sorry, I heard police sirens. Your your the people that hunt and fish in your state are so much more than the people that don't. And so, I don't think it would pass in a lot of states because a lot of people do these activities now. There might be states that this could pass in, like I don't know. I don't know
New
how much of
York.
the yeah. I
I
don't
could
know how,
see it passing in New York for
yeah,
sure.
because
But
their populations controlled in one area, and there's not a lot of hunters in that one area. I would assume, I don't see a lot of
yeah,
hunters in New York City unless they're hunting pigeons and rats. But
I did see a guy that took his turkey picture in Times Square, and that was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I have not seen that. You should
He,
send me that because that would be awesome.
he bagged a turkey, took it to Times Square, and took his turkey picture in Times Square.
That is awesome. You should send me that because that I want to see that. That's awesome. But just
Um,
just that in general is crazy. I think I don't see it passing in Oregon, but if it does, that's insane, and you would probably see it pop up on other states, which is another crazy thing. Now, do I think
yeah,
it's popping up on Missouri's legislation anytime soon? Probably not. I think
I would
whoever
hope not.
I think whoever puts that into motion in Missouri was no longer going to be in office the next time around. So
Hmm. Yeah,
but you never know. You never know what can happen in today's world. That's a very
yeah,
true statement right there.
it's very true. I don't know. It's just it's hard for me to even grasp like somebody saying that out loud and putting it on a ballot and people voting for it. Like this is one of those things where it should never be and like that shouldn't be an opinion. Like people should get to hunt, people should get to fish, people should definitely get to farm cows, and people should definitely get to have chickens or other farm life.
Yeah,
Um,
like I said, you just want those in your backyard.
yeah,
How you gonna stop animals like that from breeding? You just can't have those animals in general then.
yeah, no. And I think about like the coyote situation in Missouri. There are so many people that take coyotes every day, and we are still overrun with coyotes. They're
Oh,
everywhere.
they're everywhere. I hear hundreds of coyotes in a
Yeah,
week. I mean, it's
yeah.
crazy. I mean,
So I just couldn't imagine just letting that overpopulate. And I don't know. It's like so from my understanding, and I live in St. Louis, you used to live in St. Louis. We've been around city people. We know a lot of city people aren't a fan of hunting, and I understand why. But when you think about it like this, let's say we take away hunting, so you don't get to shoot any deer or turkey or whatever. But then you have bobcats, mountain lions, coyotes, whatever you have in your state, all these predators, and those are what's going to kill the deer and the turkey, which is
And their
much
population's
worse
only
death.
gonna yeah, their population's only gonna double just the same. You're gonna be
Yeah,
seeing coyotes in the middle of St. Louis
yeah,
in no
which we
time.
already do.
Yeah, exactly. And just think about if no one's killing them out on the outside of St. Louis, you're gonna. I mean, there'll be coyotes running everywhere. You'll be losing small dogs and cats,
Everywhere.
small children if you're unlucky.
I mean, yeah, honestly, and that's rabies is going to spread even faster. I mean, it's going to be. I can't even imagine if Missouri had this on their poll. I honestly feel really bad for the hunters in Oregon, for the farmers in Oregon that are literally fighting their livelihood right now. And you have people that have been farming cows for 40, 50 years, and it's running their family for 5 generations. And now the main thing on their plate isn't farming, it's making sure they can continue to farm legally.
Yeah, yeah. I
So if
just
you live in Oregon and you're listening to this, vote no on IP 28. There is no way that should even be able to be voted on, but it should 100% not pass.
we're gonna have to take up citizenship in Oregon just for the month of November so we can vote no
We are.
for them. Yeah.
We are. Yep, for sure. Honestly, I'd be down for that. Whatever I can do to help
I
Oregon.
don't know how legal that is, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah. We'll mail in our ballots like they've been doing in a presidential election.
Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say on it. It's just honestly, it just boggles my head to even think about it.
I just, I don't know. I think taking away what people do. I mean, I know people in the state of Missouri that only they don't buy meat from the store. It's only what they've killed throughout the year,
Yep.
or they have things on their land like cows or chickens or things like that that they use all year for food. So
Yeah.
not being able to go out and do those things, I think is would there's going to be a lot of people moving out of Oregon
For sure. For sure. I just looked up the deer population, which is obviously just an estimate, but around 500,000 deer
in Oregon.
in Oregon. Yeah.
I think there's quite. I'm not because I've looked at where we can kill certain ducks. I think there's a little bit of duck hunting that goes on in Oregon too that is decent. I I look at so many states for us to go to because I'd like to kill all the ducks, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know Oregon's duck population.
I mean, just looking it up, a few 100,000, which isn't anything insane, but I don't know. I have a hard time even thinking about this. This is crazy.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly what this means, but I'm just going to read what this says. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife conducts its own breeding population surveys, which feed into the federal Adaptive Harvest Management Framework for setting duck seasons. While ODF's 2025-2026 hunting forecast focuses on upland birds, it notes that ducks' numbers can vary year to year depending on weather, habitat, and chick survival. It also calls the state a gold standard for estimating breeding populations across North America.
Yeah,
So I mean,
breeding, which is you cannot.
yeah. I mean, you can't kill those anyway. Yeah, you can't kill those
Yeah.
anyway. And apparently, you can't. What are the ducks going to do? Are they going to be arrested now too? Because you're not allowed to breed in Oregon. What are you going to do? I mean,
Yeah. I do want to shout out these people because these are the people heading the opposition of the legislative act. But Oregon Sportsmen's Legislative Caucus co chairs Senator David Brock Smith, a Republican from Orford, and Senator Anthony Broadman, a Democrat from Bend, issued a joint statement opposing the measure, calling it an attack on Oregon's rural economy and cultural heritage.
I'm glad Republicans and Democrats can stand together on something. 100%.
Yeah,
Uh, that's awesome. just in about anything really. But I agree. I think you're ruining a whole state in mm, hundreds of ways. It's
Yes,
I think it's crazy, but I don't know. I hope this doesn't start to travel into other states. Like I said, I don't think it's going to pass, but I really hope this doesn't start to travel into other states where people think, this is going to start happening everywhere.
I do too. Yeah, I there are obviously a few states off the top of my head I can think of that probably would pass something like this. Oregon was definitely not at the top of my list for that. I wouldn't have expected them to be the first to do this, but um, yeah, I mean, just if you're in Oregon, you have to vote no. If you don't vote and you live in Oregon, go vote. Every vote matters. I know a lot of people, say that it's just one vote and it doesn't matter. It does matter. It definitely does matter. And they need your vote. The entire state of Oregon needs your vote, even if they don't think they do. Um,
Unless you're voting
so
yes, and you can stay home. You're right. Voting doesn't matter. Uh,
yes, agreed. Agreed. Oh, all right. So let's move on from the from that stuff.
yeah, I mean that's pretty heavy stuff right there. I mean,
Oh,
the
I
go
sorry to
ahead,
cut you off.
go ahead.
We did mention this earlier. You talked, I think it was 1 point something billion of revenue
Yep.
brought in,
Mm-hmm.
and
1.9.
1.9. So $1.9 billion brought in yearly. And the annual funds for the Oregon Department of Conservation was 160 million.
Hundred. It says, let me just read it real quick. 1.9 billion annually from hunting and fishing, and the state's wildlife management budget is 180 million.
Yeah. So not only are you losing out on $1.9 billion, but where's the rest of the money go?
Yeah, though where you're only getting 180 for wildlife management. Where is the rest of the money going here? This is one of
Well,
those things that we were talking about.
I was gonna say we talked about this in Missouri, where we pour all of this money in and we pay all of this money in permits, and we can't fix a pump.
Yep.
So are we going through the same thing? Like we're giving billions of dollars, and we get a 10% return. If I was an investor and I said I'm gonna put $1 billion into your company, and you look me in the face and say, "Okay, I'll give you 1 million back," do you think I would invest in that company? No. I would nobody would ever invest in that company. But that's what we're seeing. There's no return on investment when we're putting all this money into the conservation.
And
I'm
I
not
was,
saying Missouri is more than Oregon or close to that because I don't know. Um,
yeah, I don't know. We probably should know since we talk about it so much,
yeah.
but I mean, that's what we were talking about. Like, if this is going on in our state, I mean, it looks like it's way worse in other states. But like we said, we don't know Missouri's numbers right off off the top of our head or nothing. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that's crazy to think about. You're getting 1.9 billion annually, but you're only seeing about 180 million. I think that's crazy. But
Yeah.
you know,
What do we know?
what
We're
do
just
we know?
hunters.
Yeah, we're just out here hunting things. It's fixing to be a criminal act in Oregon, but
Yeah. Hopefully not fixing to be, but
yeah, hopefully not. We really hope not. But
yeah.
I just
Crazy. Unreal. If you know your senators or your local government, definitely send them an email, give them a phone call, annoy the crap out of them, and tell them how absolutely stupid IP28 is.
that's their job. They will somebody. I'm not saying they are going to answer your phone call, but but
Because they are
somebody,
not going to.
yeah,
Let's
but
be real. They are not.
somebody's going to. It's probably going to be an AI generated machine,
It's
but
probably going to be their voicemail.
yeah, but somebody will answer, or something or somebody is going to answer
Yeah.
them.
All right. Let's move on.
Let's change gears here for sure,
Please.
because
Let's
we've
pay
been talking
attention.
about the whole, the money and MDC, whatever Oregon's acronym is, and
ODC.
yeah, whatever it is. ODC would be a crazy acronym, but let's switch gears to something different. So let's go to what we carry in our everyday hunting bag? I'm gonna throw it to you first.
I knew you were going to do that, bro. Um, what's one thing? Well, let me just say this. I'm a very like it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it type of guy.
100%.
So whenever we go out, I'm prepared to start a fire. I'm prepared to stay the night. I pack a sleeping bag. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that. But I am prepared. Like I have two electronic fire starters.
Do you
Probably
really?
overkill. Yeah, I do.
That's awesome. I didn't
I
know
mean,
that. See,
it's
I'm
almost
learning
like
things here.
a small taser. Like it has two metal prongs, and it like sends a
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. It's like zzz and shit in the middle. Yeah.
yeah, and you can like you know you just start a fire with it. Anyways, I have that at all times just in case. I make sure they're charged. Um,
That's crazy. If I got to start a fire, I'm rubbing two sticks together.
yeah, and you're gonna be over there for hours while I go zzz, and
And
it
that's gonna be
starts.
hey, and I'm glad we hunt together for this reason right here.
Exactly. You kill the ducks, I make sure we don't die.
Exactly.
What else do I keep in my bag? Um, we got some wipes last year from the
We did
Duck
get some wipes.
Expo. I keep those in there.
Those did
Uh,
come in handy two or three times this year as well.
they did, and honestly, I try not to do that while I'm out there. But sometimes you get a
Sometimes
little,
vapor calls, man.
you
Sometimes
get a
vapor.
little chalky milk in the morning at 2 a.m. 5 a.m. comes and it's calling, and it is coming out.
Speaking of chocolate milk, we were going duck hunt one morning, and Marvin goes. We stop get some breakfast. We get about halfway down the road. Marvin's like, "This chocolate milk tastes funny," and I look over, and he's drank half of the bottle of chocolate milk. And I said, "Did it taste funny the whole time, or just till you got to that? Just till you got to that point?" He goes, "No, it's tasted funny the whole time, but I kept thinking it was going to get better." About 10 minutes later, I pulled over on the side of the road. That boy is throwing up. Chocolate milk was out of date by 2 months.
He didn't check the date.
No, no, he didn't check the
That's on
date.
him.
That is on
That's
him.
completely on him. That's crazy.
But Buddy had drank the half the bottle before he was like, "Man, I think this tastes funny."
Yeah, Marvin was probably using the wipes that day.
100%. He was definitely using the wipes. I mean, I don't know if he needed the wipes that day as fast as everything was coming out, but
um, let's. I don't even know how to move on from here, but
oh boy.
I don't. Everything else I keep in my bag is just like stuff to help me if I'm like hot hands. Like I keep hot hands if it's cold.
Buddy, you
Um,
get cold when it's 45 degrees outside.
I do get cold. My toes are 6.5 feet down, brother. My blood does not go there, and as soon as my toes get cold, my whole body gets cold. So I usually put like four pairs of socks on, sometimes three.
I'm a
Uh,
strong believer in the more socks you have on, the colder your feet's going to be.
that's crazy. Why do you think that?
Just because every time I put more than one pair of socks on, my feet get cold. If I just leave one pair of socks on, I'm good.
I don't know if there's any scientific evidence for that,
Hey, there might
but
not be, but I'm just telling you how life goes for me.
you
There
got
might
the
not be.
new banded waders. Your feet aren't cold, anyways.
Dude, I'm not cold at all in general, but the banded waders do help out.
They're so sick. They are so sick.
And I
All
would have
right.
had those ones for free last year if I didn't lose my tickets. Every time we talk about banded waders, this is what I think of, and it pisses me off more every time. But go ahead. What do you
Well,
say?
next year you won't lose your tickets. Hopefully,
I
we'll
will
see.
not lose my ticket. I'm gonna put them in a little Ziploc bag. I'm gonna tape them on my forehead. I'm gonna be walking around. You'll see my ticket numbers. I'm not gonna win nothing, but you will know I have them.
We will remember this. Our listeners will remember this. So come to Duck Expo in July, you will have your raffle tickets taped onto your forehead.
100%.
All right, we'll shake on it. Thank you. um, yeah, I knew it. I knew you weren't gonna do it. What do you keep in your bag?
I keep about, I miss a lot, so I keep about 4 boxes of shells. Uh, no, I keep two, and that's because I try not to be in and out of my bag a lot. I like to put my bag in the truck on Friday, and not have to pull it out till Sunday when I'm done hunting.
Mhm.
Um, so I try to keep 2 boxes of shells. Now I'm not saying I'm not gonna have one of those days where I shoot 25 shells and kill one duck, but so I'll have to put more in there at some point. But I keep that. I always keep the face paint. You gotta keep.
Have to.
I know a lot of people don't paint their face anymore, and I think that's crazy. My whole face will be black and brown because I don't smile when I'm hunting anyway, unless something good happens. So unless I'm killing something, I'm not smiling in the first place. So you're not gonna see my teeth. You're not gonna see the whites of my eyes. I mean, they might, but
I mean,
if
you're
my
not
whole,
supposed to look up whenever they're flying down.
but if my whole face is painted black, what's it matter?
Yeah, exactly.
My whole face painted black. Now the red beard doesn't help in the sunlight. So I'm a
Yeah.
huge fan of cloudy days. But other than that, it's just normal stuff. I keep my flashlight in there, and I've got one of
Yeah.
those. I've got the nice flashlight.
And a
That's
headlamp. We keep headlamps on us.
that's what I'm talking about. My headlamp is what I was
Oh yeah.
talking about. I didn't mean the regular. I mean, I have a regular flashlight in there, but every time I've taken a regular flashlight out of my backpack duck hunting, I have dropped it into the water.
Yeah.
Every time.
You're pretty
I've
good at
lost.
dropping stuff in the water.
Hey, look, we didn't need that, man. I lost a phone one time, okay? I lost my phone one time, and now that's all I hear about.
Well,
But
you lost your phone. You lost the
the,
finisher.
I found the finisher though. I found the finisher.
You found it for sure, but you definitely did drop it, and we're looking for it for a while.
I looked for it for almost 45 minutes.
It's crazy.
And I was super tired after walking back looking for my phone.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Because we were moving spots is how I lost my phone. I guess I just slid it in that front pocket not thinking about it. And when I stood up, I'm guessing it just went ploop
I
right down.
wonder if they found it when they drained the pool.
I doubt it, probably because people have walked over that spot and pushed it into the water. But if they ever till it up, somebody might find it.
That's true.
It's not going to work at all. But I wouldn't mind that case back if it's still nice.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
All right.
but other than that, man, I carry all the essential stuff. My duck calls, the finisher. I'll never go anywhere without that thing.
Mm,
I'm not a fan of letting animals suffer, so that has been a huge upgrade to my duck bag. Uh, you always got to keep some batteries on you. You know,
yep.
mojo or
Definitely.
not, you keep the batteries on you. Uh, Something I have become more trying to keep on me is a portable charger because
Yeah.
we be out there long periods of time. The phone
And
dies.
video and like almost the whole time.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
phone does die after a while. I'm gonna this year. I would like to start keeping the drone on me a little more, do a little flight, get some
Yeah.
video of what we're doing. You can only do that certain places. I don't think you can do that on any of the managed places we duck hunting. But
Yeah.
you know, in general, I would like to do that a little more on the lake and stuff like that. So I
Yeah. I was
think
gonna
that
say
would
the
be
lake.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or like if we're on the river or lake, wherever. That'd be super cool actually.
Oh, and then I got to keep Oakley stuff on me. I'm the one that brings the dog, so Oakley's always got a water bottle. Uh, she's getting way better at drinking out of my hand. I'm gonna have to do something different with that though, because I don't like the slobber. Uh, she doesn't mind it at all, but they make those little bowls that you put the cup in on, and I keep every time I see them, I'm like, man, I need one of those, and I always don't get it for some reason. I have no
You
idea
talking
why.
about like the rubber ones that go flat?
I have one of those, and that's a lot harder for me. Other people are probably like, well, that's pretty easy to carry on you. For me, that's a lot harder to keep up with. I'm talking about like it screws onto the end. You know how like the cap screws on?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It screws onto the end of the water bottle. You dump the water bottle over, and then you just pick it up, put the cap back on it.
yeah.
Yeah, need one of those for sure. But and then I also carry one of those emergency pet bags or whatever. It's got like
Oh yeah,
dog.
yeah,
Yep, yep. Because in case anything ever happens to Oakley getting stabbed in the leg on a stick or something, because that happens.
yeah.
I've seen dogs get a stick stuck in their eye and stuff like that. That's crazy. Oakley
Yeah.
told me she wanted to wear goggles, but I don't know how well she's gonna do with them.
She'd look cool for sure.
She would look cool. She said she wants goggles and earmuffs. But I know as soon as I put earmuffs on her, that's gonna be her excuse not to listen to me.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
so she's not getting those.
That's funny. Yeah, she I don't know. It is dangerous, especially if you got like ice, like jumping
Yeah,
onto the ice or if it's anything can happen at any
well,
given time. So
that's one of the main reasons I have it because this year, we got real icy there for a little bit, and it was
yeah,
it
you
was
would.
pretty cold. But we got real icy, and she was breaking the ice to go get ducks. She come back and she had a bunch of cuts up and down her arm,
Mm,
and I cleaned that up a little bit for her. I mean, but other than that, we haven't had no serious accidents. But as soon as I don't carry that on me, is when
yeah.
I'll have a serious accident. So we keep
Yeah.
it on us.
Yeah, like I said, it's better to need it and not have, or it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Yeah, you almost messed that up there, bub.
I did almost mess that up, but you know, I
You,
recouped.
I mean, you corrected it. And that's all that matters.
Um, all right. What shotgun do you use?
Uh, you have my old shotgun, and
I do.
I love that. I used to love that thing. The what is it? Remington Super Mag A7.
A70.
Yep.
Yeah.
I now carry the SX4, the Winchester, and I will probably never own a firearm for duck hunting. I'm probably going to get a new one because I'm left-handed and I've been shooting a right-handed one. But I said this to Marvin the other day, and he goes, "Well, what are you going to do? You've been so used to doing everything with your right hand, like loading it, on the right side
Yeah.
of the shotgun. Switching that up is going to be different." I was like, "You right, you right." So I'm probably not gonna get a I want one so bad just because it's different. But he's right. I'm so used to using the right-handed shotgun that I don't know that I could switch it up and not mess some stuff up.
I mean, I just thought like we play a lot of video games, so like when we play Xbox, switching to mouse and keyboard is super hard, but once you get used to it, you can be a lot better than what you were on Xbox.
Yeah.
And I think because you don't have to take it out to hunt every time. You can shoot clays and try to get better with it before you try to hunt ducks with it.
Yeah, but this is what I was thinking about. Like watching y'all do stuff with your right hand, you have to switch to like try to get the gun to unjam
Yeah,
or little things. I don't. I just continue to I it's in my left hand and I'm messing with it with my right.
that's true.
So I think I'm gonna stick with it, but I'm probably gonna get a new one. I've had that one for quite a few years. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but you can just you can tell when guns start to get older. I've ran
Yeah,
thousands of shells through that shotgun, and
yeah.
I wasn't the first person to own it. Gavin owned it before me. Our buddy Gavin owned it before I did, and
Mhm.
I know he abused that thing. So I remember cleaning it when I bought it from him. I know he abused it. I mean, it's still a great gun. I still shoot it every time we shoot. That's what I'm shooting. Emily has an SX3 and she loves it. So
Mm.
I will probably never shoot a different. Everyone tries to get me on the Super Black Eagle bandwagon. Not happening. I don't. I'm just not a fan of it. I think they're so much heavier, and
Yours
I
is super light, I will say.
my shotgun is super light and I love it. And up until recently, I've just been carrying it in my hand.
I was gonna say it's so light that you've been carrying it for years, like no strap, just
No, yeah, until recently because I've got all the stuff I got to carry like Oakley's stand and all that extra stuff, and I've been doing it for years. But I'm getting old now here at 26 years of age. Uh, so putting a strap on the gun is a new thing, and I almost choked myself out with it once this year because I'm not used to it yet. But it's a super light gun. I love it, and I will more than likely never have a different one unless they come out with an SX5. I don't see happening. They could. I don't know, but I might get that one. But
yeah.
I'll probably never own a different brand of gun.
Yeah, I'm shooting your old Remington 870 Super Mag. Um, I'm a big. There's just something about like the pump, like I don't
That's
know.
what I miss. That's what I miss about that gun. I miss so many more ducks now that I have a semi-automatic than I did when I was shooting that gun.
Yeah. Now, it definitely doesn't make me shoot better. I mean, maybe it does, but if that's the case, I would not want to see me shoot a semi-automatic. But the I don't know, the stock on it is like I don't feel anything when I shoot, even though I shoot 3-inch shells because I need to sky blast. Um, yeah, like I never feel anything, and then just the action of pumping. It's I don't know. I don't want to. I do want to get a semi-automatic, but at the same time, I think I'm really gonna miss the pump action.
And we both shoot 12 gauges.
Yeah,
Everybody's like, go to the 20 gauge. I'm telling you right now, I've owned one 20 gauge in my lifetime,
yeah.
and it about took my arm off. When
The
it,
20
and
gauge.
and everyone says it's because it was a single action, the wood stock, and that could be true. That's why that happened. And it probably is true, but I'm just for the sake of my story, that's not why it happened. It was because it was a 20 gauge. It almost took my arm off. I have not owned one since then. I will probably never own one. But everyone tries to get me to switch to a 20 gauge, and I'm just not about it. I've had conservation officers go, "Man, you really need to switch to a 20 gauge." Yeah, buddy, it's just not happening. Okay, it's just I'm not about it. I'm a 12 gauge fan, and that's where I'll stick.
You said, did I ask for your opinion, Ossifer?
Yeah. Did I ask what you think I should be shooting right now? Okay.
That's weird because isn't a 20 gauge like less
Yep.
powerful than a 12 gauge?
100%. 100%.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
supposed to be anyway. That the one I had definitely did not. It would leave a huge bruise on my arm. A
That's
huge.
wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild. But I like a 20 gauge anyways more than a 12 gauge. I'm not switching to a 20 gauge ever.
No.
Ever.
I think you said that backwards, but
Did
you're
I?
good. Yeah. Maybe. I don't
Okay,
know.
let me re-say that. I will never shoot a 20 gauge. Only 12 gauge.
Sure.
All right.
Oh, Hudson though is shooting the 410 this year duck hunting.
Is he?
Yeah, he bought one for turkey season,
Hmm.
and he has fell in love with it. He says he's going to try to use it duck hunting this year.
Hmm. That'll be interesting.
It will be interesting. I see a lot of people do that. I know I've seen it on YouTube. I don't know a lot of people that duck hunt use a 410, but I've seen it on YouTube quite a bit. So it might go well for him. It might not. I know the shells are the same price for half the shells. So
Yikes.
yeah,
That's crazy.
at least the turkey shells he was the same as
That's insane.
yeah.
That's insane. Best of luck to him, I guess.
Best of luck to him. I told him he's definitely gonna have to go opening day with me, just so I can see how that goes for him the first time around.
Yeah.
So
I
we will.
guarantee you that Sunday he's going to be like, well, I guess I'll get my 12 gauge again.
He's gonna bring it with him just in case.
Yeah, he probably will. I probably would if I was him.
For sure, I would definitely bring it. All right,
Oh.
last but certainly not least, what is your favorite duck hunting weather? We're gonna hit this real quick.
Um, Slightly cloudy, north wind, I would say.
North wind, why north wind? Just out of
I don't
curiosity.
know. I have no idea. Just seems better. I have no statistics. I have nothing, absolutely nothing to back that up. But I don't know.
You've killed ducks with the north wind.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd kill ducks with
I
well.
I mean I get it. I
I
get it.
see ducks with north wind.
I
Whether I
mean,
can hit my shots is a different question.
whatever you got to do, man. We're gonna have to start putting a huge fan next to us when it's a south wind, so that it'll blow it north.
But I do like the cloudiness because it kind of hides us better. We're pretty noticeable just how white we are, to be honest, when we're out there. So the cloudier, the better. And then also, um, I can't remember. Is it? Yeah, Mojos work better when it's cloudy,
No,
right?
no, no, no,
Or is it
sunny.
the other way around?
Yeah, sunny.
Okay.
Don't work as good when it's cloudy.
Okay.
Because the whole point of Mojo is they're seeing the white on the bottom
Oh
side.
yeah, reflect off the light. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then yeah, just because it's cloudy and I hides me better, I guess. I don't know.
They don't get a sunburn while you're duck hunting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the weather is. Let's be real. I'm not gonna kill a thing anyways.
Hey, like I said, you gotta do what you gotta do because you're gonna hate what I'm about to say.
You're gonna say 12 degrees outside,
12
no
degrees,
sun to give us any warmth.
snowing. I've killed an amazing amount of ducks in the snow.
I've never hunted in the snow.
Me and Marvin hunted twice in the snow this year, limited out both days.
Hmm.
Uh, I didn't limit out this day, but me and Oakley went duck hunting 2 years ago when we had a flash freeze all of a sudden one day, and it was like 0 degrees outside.
Hmm.
We, me and Oakley went on our own. Broke a hole open. I brought a heater for Oakley. It was definitely for Oakley. It wasn't for me because I'm a huge fan of the cold. My icicles on my beard, man. That's a perfect. I killed 3 ducks that day, so it wasn't a fail. But
Three ducks is good.
snow, snowing, cloudy, and cold. That's my perfect duck hunting weather.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the cold that much, to be honest. I'm sure you do kill a lot of ducks, but
Huge, huge fan of the cold. Huge, huge, huge fan.
huge.
Huge.
Oh, all right. Well, now that we know Luke is basically frozen, do we have anything else you want to talk about?
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. I just like to be cold. It's getting hot. Like today, I walked outside and it was hot and humid, and I was like, man, I wish I could go back to December. People are in December waiting for June. I'm in June waiting for December. And my birthday's
You
in June.
are.
And my
Every
birthday is in June.
oh yeah, that's right. Your birthday is in June. Yeah, every time it gets hot outside, you're saying, "Man, I can't wait until duck season." I'm
That's
like,
right.
"Why? Because you want to kill ducks?" She's like, "No, because it's gonna be cold."
That's right. That's right. Because a lot of the time I don't kill ducks during duck season anyway, so I'm just a huge fan of cold.
Yeah, we're just out there hanging out, really having a good time.
100%.
It's funny. But you got anything else you want to touch on before we hop off?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a pretty good one today. I think like I said, those laws that are coming into place. The one's just a proposal, so we'll see where it goes. The other one is more kind of in the movement of going, and I really hope for Oregon's sake that and the rest of the states that that one doesn't pass in Oregon. But I guess we'll kind of see when we get there.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. We're gonna stay up to date on it as much as we can. I might even make a few phone calls to the Oregon legislation just to see what's going on the inside and see what their thoughts are on it, and maybe report back to everybody and give everybody an update so they know what's going on too.
That's all
So.
I got.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna hop off. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to us, watching us, however you're doing it, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you guys listening or watching. Um, we would like to thank our sponsors, which are absolutely nobody. So if you would want to sponsor the podcast, please be our guests. We'd love to have some conversations and talk a little more. So um, you know where to find us. So my name's Riley,
My name is Luke.
and we are Chasin 41.
Oh yeah.